I'm a 21-year-old female babysitter, and I've got this girl, let's call her Mia, whom I watch at least once a week. Mia is 8 now, and I started babysitting her when she was 4 months old. The family is great, and Mia is a really, really easy kid. We're like sisters. When Mia is with me for an entire Saturday, we go on day trips. She loves shopping and sightseeing, so I mostly take her around to bigger cities. This is where this story starts. We are on the bus on an hour drive to the next bigger city. This private bus company has perks. Mia being under 10 years old went for free. Plus, they wait for you on the way back, but causing delays results in fees. Anyway, we're on the bus, and as per usual, I brought my old Nintendo DSi for her to play with. I can do whatever, she plays happily, it's a win. Until this entitled mom, EM, and her 10-year-old boy come along. They take the seats right behind ours. No problem, right? Wrong. It doesn't take long for the boy to notice the console and the racing game Mia was somewhat fixed on. Boy to EM. Mom, I want to play. EM. Well, go ahead. I thought he would get our attention and ask nicely. Nope. The boy jumps up from his seat, reaches over, and tries to snatch the game from above. He gets a hold of it for a moment, but the hand strap stops him. I made sure Mia's wrist was fine, and the game was not broken from the rough move, then I turn around, stopping the boy from another attempt. Young man, that wasn't nice. EM. He just wants to play. Let him play too. Teach your child to ask properly, and I will consider. EM. Don't tell me how to parent, kid. Boy. Mom, I want that game. EM. In a minute, sweetie. No, it's not yours, and I'm asking you to leave us alone. I sit back down, hoping to have heard the end of it. Way wrong. Mia's seat shakes a few times. The boy is kicking her seat. She asks him to stop. He continues. I warned the mom I would tell the drivers. There are always 2 on one bus, just in case. EM. He is bored. Give him the game and he will stop. I immediately get up, quickly help Mia change into another row, then go to the front and explain the situation when I hear Mia yelling. Mia. Let go! I turn around. This boy has one hand on the game and the other pulling her hair. EM is smirking in satisfaction as the boy rips the hand sling off Mia and returns to his seat, holding the game. I immediately storm at him and grab it back without a word. He starts crying and screaming loudly. I don't care. It's 8 a.m. This was supposed to be a happy girl's day out. Now I had Mia in tears and a bratty son with his entitled mom on my hands. EM. You give that back right now. My son was playing it. Bus driver number 2 comes to our rescue, practically pushed the woman and her son into the last row, asking us to take seats up front to separate us as far as possible. EM was advised to use some common sense, that this was not her game and thus not hers to decide over. I didn't quite listen anymore, but heard something from the lines of, EM. My son only wanted to try the game. These girls were unfairly rude to him. I demand an apology. Fast forward to the end of a successful shopping spree. We were signed for the last bus back, 7 p.m. departure and 10 minutes early. All seemed fine until the driver, I noticed it was the same drivers again, announced we couldn't leave. 2 people were missing, but they would call them to either hurry to the bus or decline their seats. It would just be a few more minutes. Or not. We had to wait for them. Company policy. 7:35 p.m., my nightmares come true. EM and son walk up to the bus, not hurrying at all, ice cream cones in hand. No messy food on the bus. They have to finish outside. Again, not hurrying in any way. 7:45 p.m. Head count. We can finally drive back. Everyone on board is annoyed by the delay. EM and son probably took the seats in the other aisle, yet right behind us, on purpose, but I wasn't going to say anything yet. Lesson learned, I hoped. Bus driver 2 was driving now. Driver 1, D.O., comes up to the mom. D.O. Ma'am, sorry to bother you, but you caused a 45-minute delay, and according to our terms and conditions, the company will fine you for that. EM. Fine me? What, for a few minutes? No way. I was told there would be a ride home waiting for us, and that's it. D.O. I'm sorry, but you knew that beforehand. It's in our TS and CS. EM. No one told me that. D.O. You agreed to it, ma'am. The company will mail you everything. I need your ID, please. EM. No. D.O. I'm afraid I will have to involve the police then. He goes back into his seat. The boy shows up next to me. Boy, I want that game. I told you this morning, it's still no. He pulls a sad face but goes back to his mom. Mia is lying spread out over her seat and my lap, face buried in my jacket that she had folded like a pillow on my lap. I turn the game off, but with the sling on Mia's wrist, I can't put it away. EM suddenly hovers above me. EM, she is done playing. So? EM, my son can play now. No, he can't. It's my game. EM, come on, just give it to him. He wants it and you are too old for it anyway. I don't care. It's my game. I said no, so please leave me alone now. EM, what gives you the right? She's practically yelling. I'm worried she might wake Mia and then I could end up with a cranky, tired child. I own it. Do me a favor and don't wake her. EM, she is asleep. She doesn't need the game now. Ma'am, the game is tied to her wrist. I would have to wake her to get it, and in any way, I would be playing then, not your son. It is my game, and if I have to tell you again, I will ask the drivers for help. You know I'll do it. Driver 1 turns around to us, giving her a stern look. I figured he was listening. EM and son moved a few rows back. I thought she was defeated. Again, I was wrong. A few minutes later, I was occupied with my phone, texting a friend. I wasn't paying attention to anything else, but watching Mia didn't fall off the seats whenever she moved. I didn't think much of the tiny hand on my leg at first, since Mia's left arm was somewhere around there. Then Mia shoots up with an eardrum-shattering scream. I nearly dropped my phone in shock. There was the boy right between my legs. He had crawled up under our seats from behind to come up and probably try to snatch the game. That was his hand on my leg, and Mia had woken up to him staring right into her face, mere centimeters away. The driver was cool enough not to cause an accident due to the scream, but stopped the bus as soon as he could. Both drivers were furious. The boy was crying. EM is screaming at Mia and I for making him cry. All while I'm unable to grasp the situation for a moment, holding the shaking 8-year-old. EM, this selfish girl scared my baby. She purposely screamed right into his face. DO, ma'am, why was your son underneath her seat? EM, I want this girl off the bus now. Driver 2, ma'am, please answer the question. Why wasn't your son seated? EM, he is a good child. He can do whatever he wants. The boy, in tears, I want the game, Mommy. EM, towards me, you owe my child that game now, bitch. I ignored the insult. I had to calm Mia, trying not to explode in anger myself. I was so mad I wanted to punch something. The boy tried to reach for the game again. I was done with him. I shouldn't have, but I pushed him back. He fell against his mother. I got up, face bright red, taking deep breaths as not to completely lose it. You listen here, kid. Don't you dare touch us or our game again. EM, you hurt my baby. You better be glad he's underage, ma'am, otherwise he would be facing charges now. Multiple attempts to steal my game for starters. And the way he crawled up beneath us. I could probably make a sexual assault out of that. Also, Child Protective Services would be very interested to learn you even encouraged your son. EM, you have no right to talk to me like that. Your brat made my baby cry. You owe him that game now. He deserves it. He's a good kid. She wanted to get past me herself now. Behind me, Mia still had the game. I didn't care for the game itself anymore, but she would probably hurt Mia trying to take it. Both drivers and the man held the woman back. She was screaming and thrashing around, throwing punches and insults all over while demanding I gave her son that game. The 2 other men came to help taming her. It took a while until she gave in and sat down. Finally, I thought once more we could get home. So I have Mia huddled over the seats again, shaking, but sunken into the game again, and I take my phone out to let her mom know we would be even later. That's when I hear EM whisper into her phone. She is obviously telling the police some story about a stolen toy, child abuse, being threatened and cornered by several men, and being too scared to ask for an early drop-off somewhere around. She was absolutely exaggerating and presenting her own twisted version of the story. I asked Mia to let me up, and I go to tell the drivers. They looked mortified, to say the least, and contacted police and their office themselves as well. I let Mia's mom know the situation. Fast forward 45 minutes later. 8 cops are waiting for us, an ambulance. Mia's mom had seemed to have introduced herself to police already. Mia is happy again, which I was overly thankful for. Mia runs up to her mom. I follow with our shopping bag. EM and son are questioned separately in the ambulance. The rest of us has to answer questions as well. The drivers back us up with the bus surveillance cameras. EM is busted. While she and her child are banned to ride with the company, she faces charges for a handful of things, encouraging her son to theft, false accusations, and attacking me among them. In the end, I got off with a warning for pushing the boy. EM presses charges that were dropped due to the circumstances. The judge figured I was protecting Mia and my property in a heated situation, and that the boy's prior actions had made it necessary for me to step in. EM was fined for the entire delay she and her son had caused, 1 hour 18 minutes in total, was ordered to accept family assistance and child protective services or to look over the family situation as well. Mia wasn't affected in any way. Mia's mother was quite understanding and doubled my Christmas gift card. I guess it was somewhat of an apology or a thanks. She said it was because I risked charges to protect her daughter and taught her to stand up and be strong.